Prince Charles and Princess Diana married in their spectacular royal wedding in 1981. After the Princess of Wales' untimely death in 1997, Camilla Parker Bowles was slowly and carefully introduced as Charles' new partner, and he stood firm in his dedication to the Duchess of Cornwall despite the Queen's misgivings. According to a royal biographer, this striking similarity with a figure from the royal family's past also goes hand in hand with Prince Charles' terror of the comparison. Penny Junor, in her 2005 book The Firm, delves into one of the primary fears the Prince of Wales has had throughout his life. Miss Junor writes, Charles grew up with the spectre of the abdication hovering over him. He had been weaned on stories about the disgrace brought upon the family by the Duke of Windsor who, as Edward VIII, gave up the throne rather than the woman he loved. She adds, no one felt so bitter and unforgiving about his behavior, nor referred to it with more venom, than the Queen Mother. Charles was incredibly close to the late Queen Mother, of whom he said on her death in 2002, I was utterly devoted to her. Miss Junor continues, nothing has spurred the Prince of Wales over the years quite like the terror that he might be compared with the Duke of Windsor. There have always been similarities, not least of all a selfish streak. Before his disgrace, Edward VIII was a charming and popular figure and much praised for his social conscience. During the 70s, when Charles was rattling his way through an alarming number of girls with little apparent care or thought for anyone else, Louis Mountbatten thought he was showing alarming signs. He warned him against the beginning on the downward slope which wrecked your Uncle David's life and led to his disgraceful abdication and his feudal life ever after. The prince was shocked that his honorary grandfather Mountbatten could have drawn such a devastating parallel and considered himself soundly rebuked. However, although Miss Junor writes that Charles has never shown any signs of being a quitter, she does mention one way in which the Prince of Wales can be said to be like his uncle. She writes, there's one striking similarity. He refused to give up the woman he loved when it was abundantly clear that her existence was in danger of rocking the monarchy to its foundations. Miss Junor also goes on to share one of the profound misconceptions about the early days of Prince Charles and Princess Diana's engagement. She writes, in my view, despite all the books, articles and documentaries, there is still a profound misconception about the whole story tale. Charles' private secretary Michael Colborne was one of the first people the prince told his proposal to Diana. He was the one who organized flowers to greet her on her return from Australia, where she had gone while making up her mind about marriage. The prince had asked him to send her the biggest, most fragrant bunch of flowers he could find and had handwritten a welcome home note to go with them. They had been delivered by the prince's police protection officer, yet years later, when the princess was talking about her rotten marriage, she threw it out as a sign of his callousness. She told Andrew Morton, I came back from Australia. Someone knocks at the door, someone from his office with a bunch of flowers. I knew they hadn't come from Charles because there was no note. It was just somebody being very tactful in the office. Miss Junor said, nothing could have been further from the truth.